I there was a indie pro wrestler that I met and hung out with, and he was like the favorite indie wrestler of a lot of my comic friends. His name was Effie. He's still, and he does like he's genderqueer, but he's like a different type of gay wrestler.
Okay.
Like he does these really gay matches, but he also the match I saw with him, he did a hardcore match in Orlando, Florida. And
Wait, how does his sexuality come into wrestling? It's just part of his character.
it's part of his character.
Oh, okay.
But it's the way he presents himself isn't like how a lot of gay wrestlers like he does matches that are like
He's
real,
like if Tim Dillon was a wrestler.
it's interesting. It's like he did the match I saw him wrestle, the first one I ever saw him. It was this hardcore street fight in Orlando, Florida, where they actually fought in the middle of the road, like Mills Avenue.
Oh wow!
And body slammed, and there's cars. This isn't a big production where they could shut off the roads, close off the roads like WWE would if they were doing a segment.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
This is a indie pro wrestling. It was at a bar. The ring was outside of a bar, and then they fought in.
That's a busy area.
Yeah, they fought in the turn lane. They're literally body slam each other in the turn lane. And the falls count anywhere. So they were like trying to pin each other in the middle of Mills Avenue. And then my favorite thing I got to see
body slamming on the concrete.
On the concrete, yeah. They fucked each other.
How
up.
do you do that?
No, the thing about wrestling, a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot of choreography, but some things you just can't fake. You can't fake body slamming in the concrete.
I can't even imagine,
you just
dude.
take it.
I bumped my hand, on the door knob the other day, and it was just like I just bumped it, and I was just like I was down for like 30 minutes.
Oh, these guys are built differently. I mean, that was the one thing I learned. That was the one thing that like killed my dream is to some degree like the idea, the man boob fantasy of being a pro wrestler. Hey, I still have a dream of
man boob fantasy might be a better podcast name for
man boob fantasy.
Yeah,
yeah. We should do it. We should do it shirtless with like oil on us.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Man boob fantasy. I was also watching Mrs. Doubtfire, and they say a funny thing, and I was like, "That's a good podcast name."
Oh, what is it?
It was Diarrhea Forever.
Diarrhea Forever.
Someone says it, and the little girl goes, "Diarrhea Forever," and I was like, "Man, that's a good name."
Sounds like a pretty badass metal band too. Like,
yeah, it would be
a
gutter punk band.
Yeah, Diarrhea Forever. Opening for the Dead Kennedys.
Yeah. It's our big break.
Yeah. Yeah. Splatter Dump in Your Heart. That's their #1 single.
We're splatter punk.
Splatter punk. Oh my god. Did you just come up with a new genre of music?
I think so.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's like it's punk lead guitar with funk slap bass.
Oh shit.
It's like the intro to Seinfeld with it sung with the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, pro wrestlers are built tough, man. There was like Triple H. So in a match, he tore his hamstring.
Okay.
Right.
Pain.
And he finished the match, and then he took the finish of another wrestler. The planned finish of the match was him to take a move called the Walls of Jericho, which is Chris Jericho's one of his moves. It's like a modified Boston Crab.
Okay.
So Boston Crab is when like you're on your stomach and your legs are up.
Yeah.
And then I grab your legs and I pull them back.
Classic.
Like that move, that actual move, actually, an MMA fighter used it in a match and tapped his opponent out.
A Boston Crab.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like so, if you apply it right, it's
the
one of those,
funniest, maybe the funniest named move. Boston Crab.
Boston Crab, yeah.
It's the most fun to say.
Yeah, I was in Manchester and I had a prostitute. She gave me Boston Crabs. I will fucking crab.
Yeah, that's a good context for it.
Yeah, I like that. Every time I hear crabs, I can't not.
I got crabs in Cape Cod. They're lobsters.
I bought her a lobster. And she gave me crabs. It was wicked.
Someone
itchy.
does that joke, right? Rich girls don't get crabs; they get lobsters.
Oh no, I
that's
never heard that one. Oh, that's funny. I should do that video. There was where it was the lady trying to record the crab, and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
I'm
a fucking crab.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here." I love that she does when she says, "If you listen closely, it makes a sound," and she makes a sound before she does the mic to the crab. That sounds like you're like, "Oh yeah, that is." She does such a good job. She makes a sound that you're like, "Oh yeah, I bet that is what a crab sounds like." It's such a the punch is so funny with the crab voice, but I'm telling you, that setup is beautiful. She just does like my dog just wants to kill something in the backyard, and he's just wailing. He's like a Japanese ghost in my house, just wailing. He's like,
I don't know what the hell that noise was.
That's your Japanese ghost.
Yeah.
No,
I was just trying not to get real like racist, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we're Japanese.
Speaking of Japanese ghosts, we got to get Asian food again soon, so we could fart Japanese ghosts.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, Jesus. Yeah. That fair food. I went to the fair.
Oh yeah, you said you went to the fair and got Asian food.
Yeah, it was not. It was bourbon chicken. For anyone that like listens to this and has ever had bourbon chicken, usually bourbon chicken is like chicken thighs marinated, cut up, and then they're marinated in the bourbon sauce and then cooked in a bourbon sauce, and then it's usually spread over white rice.
I just want to lay in it like a jacuzzi.
Oh, dude,
a little Chinese jacuzzi.
What they served me was essentially barbecue on a stick.
Chinese jacuzzi.
A Chinese jacuzzi
is a good podcast name.
Chinese jacuzzi. And it also sounds like a E-Bombs World sex position.
It does,
like
yeah. It sounds like it does sound like a legendary internet clip of like 6 guys in a jacuzzi blowing each other.
Oh God, yeah.
Are we 10 minutes in? We're definitely not.
We're not. This is no one's.
We're getting
shadow banned for sure.
This is not a promotable episode.
No. Yeah, we just call it the
but
Chinese.
Chinese jacuzzi. That's it. Does. It sounds like a bunch of. It sounds like a bunch of dudes like peeing on each other.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you what you thought a Chinese jacuzzi was mentally.
I would say it's 6 or more people peeing on each other. But I feel like there's something that's got to hold the heat in, so you have to have like a sweater or like a turtleneck on or something. What's Asian? A kimono? Some sort of I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, you sit in a bathtub and you wear a samurai outfit.
I got it.
Yeah.
So it's when 6 or more people line up and they pee on the first person, and then you got to run around the whole perimeter.
Or you just take it. You get someone in a sauna.
Yeah.
You piss on them in a sauna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Chinese jacuzzi. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Or you sit in the sauna in a gi like a karate gi, and then they just marinate you in piss.
That's what's your interpretation of Chinese jacuzzi?
I just thought it was like when the dogs get like a funnel when they need so they don't scratch or bite their wound.
Oh yeah.
Well, put something like that on a woman's face, and then everyone just pisses on her.
Okay, so you think piss
comes
too?
On her,
You think okay,
just like a bukkake type thing.
So you're thinking like a funneling apparatus.
And then
because if okay, so hear me out.
Yeah,
it's kind of combining our ideas. A Chinese jacuzzi should be a dog funnel on a person, and enough people have to pee in it, so it gets up to
I was thinking the same
above
thing.
the mouth but below the nose, because you don't want to kill them.
Yeah,
above the mouth, below the nose is a Chinese. Like once you get above the mouth, it's officially a Chinese jacuzzi.
Yeah,
is that good?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of something along the lines of that, or like have someone with the funnel, and then there's enough cum to where they can drink it and bubble it. And
oh yeah, but
yeah.
We
were shadow banned.
I mean,
think
about think about the logistics.
Oh yeah,
that would be like a sexual. It would be a legendary feat because where do you get that much cum?
I've seen videos.
But to bubble up a dog I don't know.
I've seen enough videos.
I love the above the mouth, below the nose stipulation.
It makes more sense though with piss though, because you could
specifically
you get 3 guys to fill that up.
That's what I'm saying.
The videos I've seen, I see what you're saying. The videos I've seen where there was enough cum to drink.
There's no way. Yeah,
it was like 30, 40 guys.
Yeah, where are you gonna? You don't want to. We want to encourage more Chinese jacuzzis than that.
Yeah.
3 to 6 people, you know, I don't know, depending on
very
if they pee
dehydrated guys.
Yeah, if they pee like you, which ended up what?
I can feel like
2.5 times the. We looked up, so there's when I was last time we talked about peeing, and I said I'm pretty sure there's like an average length of time, and there is for mammals. All mammals across all living mammals take about the same amount of time to pee. And it's like 20 seconds. So if you pee a lot longer than 20 seconds, anybody listening, or Marcus when he said,
my record was
it just means you're you've doubled up. So you probably held it enough to hold
it was definitely road trip pee.
Yeah,
road trip piss. Hell,
those are crazy.
I did one recently.
48-ounce fountain soda pee.
Oh yeah, it was at Buc-ee's, the big $1.15.
God, we gotta get sponsored by Buc-ee.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
let's reach out.
I gotta talk to a couple. I've been seeing brands that are sponsoring comedy content.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, but yeah, Buc-ee's. Yeah, Buc-ee's owes us at this point at least a couple free brisket sandwiches. Like Jesus Christ.
God, yeah.
But
go on and take it.
I had one of those big guys, and then during the road trip, I also had waters. I always have water on me, and so I finished the waters, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna get some stuff, and then the big drink, and then I realized I had to go run, and Aaron had to go. It was a comedy show, and they paid me with a check. So I had to go run to the bank and put my money in. I don't like doing the online thing. It takes too long.
Yeah.
When I put it in my ATM for my bank, it deposited right away. And so I went there, and then I was like, oh, shit, I got to piss. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it home. Like, I got to pee, like, now. And I thought about, this was pretty recently. So I thought about I think I said 57 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
So I timed this one. 42 seconds.
Damn.
42.
You got maybe you have like your calves.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a larger than average bladder. Like you could hold.
Or I thought you were going to say like my calves are like a camel and they hold water.
Like humps.
I got camel humps on my legs.
You could hold pee in your calves.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that. Chinese jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
Yeah. Well,
so you had something recently. So your sister had some crazy shit happen.
Yeah. So Halloween. So we're now in November.
Yeah.
It seems like Halloween was so long ago, right?
I know.
Because because of the election.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halloween night, a drunk driver, I guess he was speeding around the neighborhood, but he went 80 miles an hour. They said no skid mark, so he just went full speed.
Jesus.
Into their backyard. Like they have a cinder block wall around their backyard. So into the wall, and it the wall exploded, and he crashed half, most of the way through the yard, and it sent cinder blocks through their window and onto the roof, and how it messed up all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And they weren't home. They were at a party, a Halloween party.
Oh man.
And I guess my sister was supposed to go home, and right as she was leaving, the person who was hosting was like, "Oh, the tacos or burritos or whatever the food they made.
Yeah.
It just finished. You should have one." So she stayed and had. So,
dude, your sister's life was saved by a fucking taco?
Mexican food, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Which we already all owe our lives to Mexican food. If you ever live in California, it's so expensive, so Mexican food is your get by. But anyway, yeah. So so that all happened, and so it's crazy. So what happens? Like, so this is like a freak accident, right? So the cops come and they arrest the guy, and they tow the car out of the yard, and then they're just like, okay, like, have a good night. And so like their house is like destroyed, and so they have home insurance, of course, but it's not like a snap your fingers and everything's repaired and better.
Yeah.
And like their house was like there was like a hole in the thing, like, so their house like freezing, and then there's a huge hole in the backyard, so just anyone could just walk into their yard, and then the house is like open, so the people could just get, it's wild.
Yeah.
So I started a GoFundMe, it's very much like I try not to ask for help for myself personally.
Yeah.
Like just in day-to-day life or anything, like I'd rather struggle and figure it out.
Yeah.
But this was happening to my sister, and so I feel like when it comes to family, you want to be like more protective or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, and people have been like incredibly generous. It's been amazing. And like there's been like people from like all over, and I started it, so it's been a lot of my like circle of friends, and then like people from California and like here, and like all kinds of people being like very generous and sharing it, and it being like, so that was really touching and nice.
Also, like two different things I think were interesting as like hearing that. First of all, the fact that she stayed for tacos, and that could have been the difference between an inconvenience and a tragedy.
Right. Yeah.
And then also cinder block wall. Like if she had like a fence like you got, or any of your neighbors got, or I mean that car would have went right through it into the house.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fuck, that's wild.
It's wild. Yeah. So it started.
Yeah, where does she live? Where there's a cinder block wall though? I've never seen that before.
California.
Okay. Did she live near an interstate or something, or like an off-ramp?
No, it's just like California is like, unless you're in like an old neighborhood, it's like all these like planned communities. So it's like you get a lot of that here too.
Yeah.
But it's like these developments. So they'll have like, you'll have property, and like some of them. What's crazy is like they probably should have had like metal guardrails or something up like the city or whatever. But the dude just like I guess he thought it was like open road or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's insane.
I mean, I know he was he was drunk, but like
we made some fun. Like, what if he was dressed like Bowser from Mario Kart jokes? But
he gets out like, wow.
He throws a red turtle shell. But yeah. So it's crazy though, because it's like they arrest him and tow the car out, and then they're like, all right, good luck. And like, so it's not an instant process. So it's like this tremendous thing. And then like, there's so much glass everywhere, which was a huge problem. There's glass all over the lawn and like the house and stuff. So it's crazy. Like just small and large pieces of glass. So yeah, the money we're raising is going to help like fix some stuff that insurance doesn't cover. So it's good. But I've had a lot of people be really generous, and then I've had, which is funny, and most of my experience in life, some people like kind of be shitty towards me about it. Like they were like, she has insurance. Why would you ask people for money? Like I'm trying to take money from people.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's always like people with money who are the worst people.
Oh yeah.
Like anybody, like just a little bit of money makes you greedy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad I have and work and associate with people who are like kind to each other, because I try to be that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. So I was like,
yeah, it's also just a point of privilege because even not every insurance company is the same. Not every insurance plan is the same.
Yeah.
Even if it's insurance, for example, I have full coverage on my car.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but I have full coverage. But I get stressed out, like in Florida, when people like ride my lane and stuff, because not everyone has full coverage. So some people just have where their insurance will only pay for so much, and then I go after my insurance company, and they drag their feet. They don't want to pay. And so of course, a wealthy person will be like, well, just have insurance coverage. Like, I don't know your sister's financial status. I don't know what kind of insurance plan she has. Also, in California, I don't know how things are different there. So she may have the bare minimum where her what they call it, deductible. Some people like it's expensive as hell, but I got full coverage and I got a low dollar deductible.
Yeah,
but that came from years of being grandfathered in. Because I forgot there was a company before Geico. Geico bought it out.
Yeah,
and I got grandfathered in.
Okay,
and so my insurance is a little bit cheaper.
All we know is Shaq did commercials for them.
Oh yeah. The General, baby. No, but no, but that's from years of having steady paying it on time, blah 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 blah, all that crap. But not everyone has that. Like I actually negotiated, not negotiate, I forget what they call it, but basically I changed my plan just a little bit, and I renegotiated my deductible, because my deductible used to be like $500, or I don't remember. That's a lot of money for if you don't make it a claim for like a fender bender. You know what I mean? So I dropped it down way lower. It increased my monthly payment by not as much as it should have. It was like only a $20 difference. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll do that. But not everyone has that. Some people have like $1,500, $2,000 out of pocket before the insurance even touches it. So yeah, they're like, oh, why are you doing a GoFundMe? Like, dude, have you looked around at the economy? We're all fucked, man.
We're all. I know. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, they gotta there's so much glass in their yard. Yeah, so they can't just they have to tear it all up and redo it, and insurance doesn't cover that. Yeah. So that's this will help.
It's not like you could take a fucking Dyson out there and just.
I know. Yeah, it's nuts, but it's nuts when it's crazy when you if you are a generous person, or you try to be nice and help people and blah blah blah, and then you talk or meet people who are greedy or cold, Yeah. And they're so focused on their own, they're I don't know, it's just disgusting. It's the worst of human behavior. Yeah. Versus the best, where when you have people come together and help each other, and that's the best of it. And I don't know, but it's so it goes. I really don't care. I'm trying to help my sister, who's actually going to come out here. I'm treating her to a fine Jacksonville weekend next weekend, so that'll be fun.
That's funny.
We're gonna take her to St. Augustine and all that, get her drunk.
Hell yeah, dude. I don't know, man. People when they're I get it, who doesn't want to be in a financial good standings, but I think some people are just obsessed with money, and it just
yeah.
I mean, I get it. Having money, you're comfortable. But I don't know. It's just weird. Have you ever had anything like that? Anything? I mean, you had the.
Well, my neighbor shot a bullet through our house.
Yeah,
but that's really probably it.
Yeah. Did you ever find out any more information?
No, they said it happened that morning, but it definitely happened the night before.
Okay. You think he was trying to say
I don't know what or how it happened.
Yeah.
But all I know is they didn't come over right away. They waited till the next day, and then they lied about how it happened. But we took care of it.
Okay.
But the guy who did it, said who did it, his friend, died a week and a half later. I didn't do it.
No, he did it. Oh shit! Did they say how he died?
I think he had a heart attack, but we're having a heat wave here. It was in the summer or early summer, but it was remember when it jumped up to 100 early on?
Super hot, yeah.
It was right then, when it happened, and he was cleaning out my neighbor's garage, and he was like in there like all day, every day. He was sweating, and he was like not in good standing to begin with. And one day he was just like, all right, or my neighbor, there was an ambulance out front, and he's like, I forget his name, but he was like, so and so is dead, and I was like, holy shit! Wow. This block, this four house or five, whatever, first 4 houses.
Yeah,
I've lived here 4 years.
Yeah,
there's been more police, deaths, ambulances, events on this street, and we live in boring suburban Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We live in like the most suburban area you could get, and I've talked to detectives, bullets, police reports, ambulances.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people have died. I can't explain. It's really nuts. It's this area is cursed. It's crazy.
It's also sometimes the comparison, like when I worked at Regency versus when I worked at Disney.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy shit happened at Regency, but crazier stuff happened at Disney.
At Disney, yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, this might be on an Indian burial ground or something like that.
But yeah, dude, I'm no joke. Like, we get nervous because we're like, man, it feels like It Follows or something, We're like,
yeah. And it doesn't help that while we're recording this, your dog is just losing his shit over nothing. Like he does.
Yeah, my dog found something outside. He scared the shit out of me before I was telling you I was typing an email, and then he started like screeching, and I thought he like
probably dug up an Indian bone.
It was probably a frog or something.
Yeah.
They're chasing.
I'm a fucking frog.
I'm a fucking frog over here.
Ribbit, motherfucker.
I'm a dog over here. I was talking to someone who they said they had a pet parrot.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, does it talk? And they're like, oh, yeah, it talks perfectly. It'll imitate any sound. It knows phrases and stuff. And I was like, man, I wish dogs knew like simple phrases.
Yeah.
Like they could just like if I walked in. Even if every day he was just like, I'm a fucking dog. That would be great.
Are you going to fucking feed me or just stare at me?
I'm a fucking dog over here.
Dog over here.
Give me some goddamn chicken. Yeah, they're like...
I got a fucking shit.
They talk like retired mobsters.
Yeah. Can I get a 10% cut on your on the milk bones?
Oh man, that's good. Yeah. What? Did you have a lot of people freak out about the election?
Yeah. Oh god, it was weird because it was like a lot of devil's advocate people voting Trump. Just to piss people off.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of like. It reminds me of when Trump won in 2016. I actually did a comedy show that night.
Oh, okay.
And I remember the lineup was unusually high amount of women on the show. And I was like, do they do this on purpose? Or because it was like this one that was Hillary versus Trump. And, one of the girls...
And everyone thought Hillary was going to win.
Yeah, one of the girls even wore a shirt that said, I'm with her. You remember that whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
And then as the night progressed, then it's like, oh, it looks like Trump's going to win this shit. And these girls started fucking legitimately crying.
Yeah.
And that's I was seeing some of that. There's a lot of the girls I know that are real political or were posting like grief Instagram stories, links to grief and stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I had a lot of California friends freak out.
Yeah.
Like this is the end of the country and like all that stuff. And my stance always is always optimistic through like any I'm like, oh, I don't like politics and it doesn't matter who wins because America's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And it's just going to keep going, things just keep going. And every year, every election, 4 years, it's like the same arguments, the same promises, and it's just all the same shit happens,
Yeah.
Which is essentially nothing. It's just life continues as is, and then we get new phones, and it's just a day.
I think the weirdest thing though about this particular administration is like, so Trump won, and he's got this.
Well, now they're Do you see who they're electing?
What do you mean?
Are you talking about Trump's administration?
Yeah,
well, they have like Elon Musk as like something, but now I keep seeing headlines of people they're hiring like Fox News people for like all these like big. It's like I forget the guy's name. He was like in trouble for
Matt Gaetz or whatever.
Yeah. They just elected him for like some high position.
It literally it doesn't feel
so
like
it's you're like, man, like our country, it's like a joke, like sorry.
Is he okay?
Yeah. Sorry. You're stamping the balls there. Marcus has a lot of lady friends you're gonna disappoint.
Oh.
You want to come up? Papa doesn't need his. He's married.
So speaking of getting our balls stomped as America, no, yeah, it literally feels it honestly feels like a movie, like the Power Rangers or something, when they would like, oh, I need to build my army, like
yeah,
or like or for me, it's a pro wrestling reference, like I remember like coming up, there was like the $1 Million Man had a stable.
Yeah,
he would buy all the big guy wrestlers to do all this dirty work for him, and that's what it kind of feels like. It's just like this weird ragtag group of also criminals. I mean, because Trump has got a cavalcade.
It's like Happy Madison, the administration.
Oh my God,
it's like all the same.
Yeah. Hey, I'm the Department of Defense. Yeah. Fucking. It doesn't feel real. I mean,
that's. I think that's the feeling that I'm trying to convey. It does not feel real. Like you're seeing headlines now, like Elon Musk is like the head of efficiency or something like that. Which, if you know anything about Elon Musk, he's very successful businessman, but it's a lot of government subsidies and a lot of like them giving him stuff. So he's not like efficient by any means. Like he's probably the least efficient of the billionaire. Like you got to talk to like Bezos or like they know efficiency, not Musk. That's crazy.
Yeah,
but that's why he was doing his jumping up and down. They probably had backdoor handshake deals to like if you promote. Help me, like
of course, that's
all that stuff.
I mean, politics aside, that's all Trump. He's a finagler. He just like Trump is he just the fact that everyone was like, oh, he's so successful. I'm like, you sure? Because I mean, he's had like failed business,
like Tim Robinson,
4 failed. Yeah. You sure about that?
You sure about that?
Like 4 failed businesses, a school that
the zip line sketch.
Oh God,
it's just you can just rewatch it over and over.
There's a lot of those.
What a fucking great idea for a sketch.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's so many good. It's really like what a phenomenal show.
But, my favorite was he was in the office and he's with his like boss who's like the king of the slams.
Yeah.
And then he goes, he said, the guy goes, yeah, that's what your mother said. And he goes, you spoke to my mother? And he goes, yeah. He goes, oh God. And he gets on the phone and he calls his dad. He's like, Dad, you're not going to believe this. Mom's alive. Bad news is she's having sex with my boss, Johnny, over the king of the slams. And then he's like, okay, I'll see you later. He's like, I love you. And he's like, please say it. Please say it. Please say it. And then the phone hangs up. And it was so funny to see it. Everyone in the office, they were like, oh. And then he goes, you spoke to him. And his voice cracks when he says it. God damn it. That's so funny.
That's good. I like good. That was one of the best sketch series in a long time.
I don't know if you noticed, Christina Schreiber, our friend of ours, her son did Improv Olympia or something, one of the improv troops in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
and he basically wanted to perform this show, and he reached out to what's it, Tim Robinson or whatever.
Yeah,
and this is before he had the show on Netflix and all that stuff. But he was really known in the improv world, and he reached out to me. He goes, "I would love for I wrote this for like a sketch thing.
Yeah,
I would love for you to be involved." And he fucking showed up and did it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, "What?" And like this is before he like blew up and stuff. But like, it was like that was. Apparently, he's like a super cool guy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's so funny because a lot of his sketches, you'd think he was a piece of shit. Because some of his sketches are
I don't get that at all. I'm like, he's so. I don't know him. Well, he's like best friends with the one dude, the guy he did Destroyers with.
Yeah.
Hey, he was like improv friends. And
no. Some of the sketches he does, like it's I don't know, like my thing. I was like my association to, like, for example, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Seinfeld the show, and I watch it, and then you see interviews with Jerry Seinfeld, and you're like, oh, he sucks.
Yeah.
He fucking sucks. So the show where it makes him like not really likable all the time, you know, you're like, oh, okay, so this is an extension of who he is. Like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David. Larry David sometimes is, personally, there's stories where he's like kind of like neurotic, and that plays out in the show. So when I see certain sketches on that show, I'm like, oh, is he really like that? Because I got this story here.
Does he really eat hot dogs out of his sleeve?
But some of his sketches, dude, they're iconic to the point where I can't be at places without thinking about one of his sketches.
Yeah.
So like every time I'm in a drive-through at a fast food restaurant, I think about the Pay It Forward one where he goes, "I want 55 hot dogs, 55 fries," because someone paid it forward for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's like, "Well, 55 hot dogs, 55 fries, 55," and then he drives back around, and then to try to be behind the guy, because it was like so basically he paid it forward for the person in front of him, and then he orders that, and then he expects the guy in front of him to pay for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, god damn it, that's so funny. And then it's so funny because then before he tried to speed around, and he had to cut off a lady, and he's like, "I'm doing something here," And then she hears it, and then she gets in the drive-through window. It's like, "I want 55 for 55." It's like, god damn, dude, so good.
Yeah. Oh man. That's good.
I want to get back into sketch, writing sketches and stuff. I posted a TikTok today. It was the dumbest fucking. There's this trend that's going around where on TikTok it's like someone goes, "I hope they play Hot to Go," which is a song by Chappell Roan, this like real big mega star performer now, And
I've heard her name, but I don't know what or who she is or it is or whatever. And and then I don't understand what you said for the title of the song. So I feel I just kind of hang out with my dogs. I don't really know what's going on. I'm constantly told by my wife that I don't like read the news.
Yeah.
But I follow the stock market, and then I look at what the Knicks are up to. And outside of that, I don't know what's going on, so I don't know new music, and I don't know general news stuff like news stories or celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So I don't know what you. I don't know what you said.
Yeah. So this trend on TikTok is like there's this performer that has a certain song called "Hot to Go," right?
Okay.
And so
Hot to Go.
Hot to Go.
Okay.
Yeah. Hot to Go. But when you do the song, you say the words all like together.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's Hot to Go, and the trend is somebody would be like, "I hope she plays Hot to Go," and then the friend's like, "This is," and then something that's not even close to the concert, So the best one I saw was the one girl goes, "I hope they play Hot to Go," and then the other girl goes, "This is your father's funeral," and then they show the funeral. Yeah.
That's fun.
But I did a stupid one. I was at the fair last night, and they had a cover band playing songs.
Yeah.
And one of the songs they played was "Hot to Go." I'm like, well, I'm gonna record this because I may make a TikTok, and I did that. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go, and I was like, this is the Jacksonville Fair, and then it's them at the fair, and it was stupid how much feedback I was getting off this the dumbest thing I've ever posted, probably,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to I want to get back into like posting sketches and stuff.
I like dark sketches, like really dark humor.
Yeah.
For sketch.
Well, my original idea for that Hot to Go one was, I hope they play Hot to Go, and they're like, this is your funeral, and it was just going to be the camera view of the inside of a coffin. Yeah.
That's funny. I love that. Do you remember? I think it was Funny or Die. When they made a TV show. I want to say it was them, and it was a really fast sketch. It was like a 30-second sketch, and it was just a scene of a car accident, and it's like a mom crying.
Yeah.
And a police officer is like walking up towards her, and he walks like to the car. The back of the car is facing camera, and it's got the little stick figure family, and he just scrapes off 2 of the kids.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so funny.
It's so dark. It's so quick and so it's so fun, but man, it still makes me laugh. So dark.
What I like
I shot a sketch with Zoltan a while back, and it was like he wrote it with his buddy.
Uh-huh.
I just filmed it and edited it for them.
Yeah.
But it was just like about 2 detectives going to a wife telling her husband's been murdered, and they just like describe literally what happens instead of like just like why it happened, but like just talking about his head being sawed off and tumbling, and like they act it out in front of her. So it's fun. But yeah, any kind of dark sketches, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, sketch is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's my thing is like I want to make sketches, and a lot of times sketches require a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And it's just I know too many people on too many different schedule timelines.
Yeah,
to
that's
really
the
get
issue.
Sucks,
But yeah. I like sketch. I just talked to one of my friends who I used to do a lot of sketches with. He's in like commercials now.
Oh shit.
But
was he the guy with the long hair that used to do Dr. Squat's commercials?
No. That's like he was like in the comedy scene.
Oh, gotcha.
But no, my buddy Nick, I was just watching, we did a sketch called Camp Asshole, which was fun. It was for like a sketch contest.
Yeah.
And it was about, they just gave you a phrase, and it was like a 24-hour or 48-hour sketch.
Oh yeah, I've done
those.
Yeah,
So,
those are fun.
We won 2 years in a row.
Damn.
But it was fun. We did like the Camp Asshole one was like, like people like adults summer camps.
Yeah.
It was like that. So it was like supposed to be an ad for adult summer camps, but it was just it was like geared towards and we had like testimonials, and it was just like the worst people, trying to be the worst people.
Yeah.
So it's great. Dudes like flexing, like it's great. It's fun.
Have you ever been to one of those?
An adult summer camp?
Yeah.
I haven't been to a child summer camp, so no.
I
I used to make fun of kids. The South has a strong camp thing going on, I think.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people who in college we used to argue, and they would say like, summer camp is some of the best times of my life. And I would say, oh, you just didn't have a lot to do where you're from, and your parents wanted to get rid of you. And because I grew up like in the summer going to the beach and stuff, and the pool, there's like a town pool.
Yeah, I never went to summer camp. The closest thing I ever went to summer camp was when I was in church, and we did like an extended weekend, like 3 days, 4 days in like Georgia.
Yeah,
And
I've heard of that. I had a lot of Southern friends do that.
But that was it. I never did any of this weeks long stuff. No,
Young Life.
Yeah, no.
Is that something?
What's that?
Isn't Young Life something that's like a religious thing?
Oh, Young Life. No, I thought you were talking about a new rapper. I've never heard
it does
of.
sound like
Young Life.
Young Life.
Word to your mother. You know?
It would probably be good. That would probably be a popular Southern rap. Version, Young Life, because I definitely know. Well, I dated a girl who used to go to it, and then like I know she. I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people who used to. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so there's no like religious getaways in New York. I'm sure there were, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah, it's so funny because like my first taste of sketch comedy.
Yeah.
Other than like watching Mad TV or SNL, was I used to go. There was a church in near the beaches that had this. They had a school that was attached to it, a private school. And they had this big, it was like almost mega churchy. It wasn't like that big, but it was like definitely 500-seater type of place.
Yeah.
And they would do what was essentially teen. It was like, you know, the show All That?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like teen, All That, SNL sketch comedy show.
Okay, yeah.
And I got recruited like a bunch. Because there was some kids that attended that church that knew me from middle school, and they knew me as like a goober, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got like, and then we had this traveling family that would travel all over the country doing these plays, and it was called Gone with the Wind to Heaven or Hell, and the theme of the story was tornado rips through this small town and basically kills everybody. Nice. Everybody dies, and everyone now they're dead, and then. They do scenes before it though. They like you know before the tornado ripped through, and so you get to know a little bit about each of the people, and then they're at the gates of heaven, and then like God's like you're awful, and you get and then the devil pulls them away like it's literally 42 years old.